Where does last week's game rank amongst your best memories as a coach?
That was the best walk home I've ever had. Yeah, it was really nice. Strolled right through the neighborhood, went to my house. It was great.
Were you in your BYU gear still?
Oh yeah, I just walked right out of the locker room with my son, and we just walked home. It was good. It was good.
What did you learn about your offense in that game? Because there were some ups and downs.
Yeah.
As you faced a really good defense.
Well, I didn't learn a whole lot. I just what I already know. We have a tough team. Our quarterback's got a lot of guts, and he's really good in the 2-minute drill. And I knew that Utah was a really good defense. Wasn't a surprise. And they're very good. And the crowd noise was a big factor. We practiced it. I don't know how we could have practiced it more, but it was a factor. It really caused us a lot of problems.
That option play that you guys run
yeah.
At the end of SMU and a lot of times, like, why do you think that play is so successful for you?
It's just a tough play to stop. I mean, it's the option has been in existence since the beginning of football, really, and it's a play we'll keep trying to run. I know the team we're going to play this week is really good at it too.
Caleb, is he pretty much having the senior season that you thought he would have? And can you address his improvement?
Yeah, Caleb's a great story. It's no secret he struggled a little bit last year, and he just never hung his head. He always just kept working, never felt sorry for himself. Had a great offseason, and he's playing really good football for us now, and he's one of the best players on this team.
Do you expect Connor to be back this week? See him out there.
Yeah, Connor's going to play, and yeah, he's ready to roll.
What's the plan for Braden Kime, and do you think he's coming back?
Braden's going to be out for a little bit. We're hoping to get him back for postseason play, but yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit.
So is Jada his replacement?
Yeah, Jada will start. Yeah.
What was
and Jada came in the game and played very well at the end of the game. In fact, that speed option play that you mentioned, he had a very tough block, and he made it. He got there and made the block and played well.
What did you like in Jada coming out of the portal? I know you recruited him out of Snow College.
Yeah.
And he goes to Colorado. What do you like about him?
Just his athleticism, and he's a great character kid. He's really smart, very smart guy. Really high football IQ. Good student. Just smart guy. He fits in here. He's a tough, smart kid.
Josiah Phillips, have you been pleased with his progress?
Yes.
And how he seems to gradually keep getting better and better.
I'm glad you mentioned him. I thought that was he played. He really showed up on a big stage in that game. I thought he executed very well. The moment wasn't too big for him at all, and he looked like he belonged. And he's going to be a really good player here. His ceiling is very high.
What's impressed you the most from Darius and Chase? You point them out as some of your top two receivers, but throughout this season they always seem to show up.
Yeah, just their consistency. They practice the same way they play in games. They show up every day, work really hard, and sometimes I think when you practice that hard all the time, sometimes the game's even easier. And those two guys are great examples.
What's been kind of the feel of the team after a late night on Sunday? Have they still been energetic, the same as what you've seen this season?
Yeah, I think physically we're a little bit worn down right now. That was a very physical game, and we played a lot of snaps. But we have a plan in place to get everybody back and fresh by Saturday night. But yeah, the energy, like emotionally and stuff, I think these guys are being great all year at just one task at a time. And we know how good of a team Kansas is. They've played a good football lately, and they've lost 4 or 5 games this year by just a few points. I mean, they handed it to us last year. They embarrassed us last year. I thought they were way more physical than us and executed way better than us. And so we know what we're up against.
And you know what that plan is? Is that devised by the strength staff?
The sports scientist guys. Every one of these guys they're tracking every step they take out here, and they do some things in the weight room too to track where our freshness levels are, and so we're on it.
So they kind of adjust accordingly in season to what the health is.
Practices get a little shorter, walkthroughs get a little more walkthrough, a little less practice, that kind of stuff.
Does inclement weather favor either side, do you think? Because it looks like there might be a little bit of wet weather.
I don't think so. I think, they get bad weather in Kansas. We get bad weather here. I think both teams are used to it.
Do you talk about the leadership on that team being able to move week to week? Is that more coach-driven, or has that been mostly player-driven?
It's the players, really. I mean, we preach it, but if your leaders don't follow through with it, then it's not really worth much. And our leaders have done a good job this year of just going one game at a time.
With Josiah, a lot's been made that he only played football his senior year.
Yeah.
Right? Is that just natural athleticism that he's been able to do what he's been doing?
I mean, that's a big part of it. He's a super athlete. Since he got here, though, he has worked really hard at just learning the game and refining his technique. It's true, he played 1 year of high school football in an offense that barely threw the ball at all. So he got here without much football knowledge, but he's a really hard worker. He's a smart kid, does what he's asked to do, and he's really unselfish. You know, he hasn't complained about how much he plays or how much he gets the ball. He just works every day, and now you're starting to see the fruits of that.
These days you have so many analytics. Do you break down each play analytically, like tempo versus huddle, field position? Do you go deep dive in that, or is a lot of it feel and what you see at practice, or is it a combo?
Deep dive into everything, yes.
That clip that's kind of gone viral with Kalani in the locker room after that Utah game, is that how he always is? Like, can you just describe how he's been this entire year?
I don't know the clip you're talking about. I didn't make it in the locker room till pretty late.
You talked about the foundation.
Yeah.
Speech to the team.
Yeah, I mean, Kalani's he's done a great job with this team. I think these guys love playing for him, and he's very consistent about what we're about. And I think the players really play, with the love for him. They don't want to let him down. It's not a situation where guys are afraid of getting benched or afraid of getting, consequences or whatever if they make a mistake. I think it's more guys want to play well for him and for their teammates. Yeah.
What challenges does this you touched on this, but what challenges does this Kansas defense present for your offense?
Well, they're very well coached. I mean, they're really good at what they do, and a year ago they got after us pretty good. I mean, their secondary is really good. They execute their stuff. I think they're an athletic team, and they seem to have a little wrinkle every week for somebody that you're not ready for. And it seems like we're going to get something on Saturday that we haven't seen this year. And then they're also just very good at what they do, every week.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah.